You know, sometimes the things we trust the most, the ones we believe are helping us, can actually be doing quiet damage behind the scenes. And for many seniors, especially men over 75, one of those things is sitting right there in the kitchen cabinet, that old box of baking soda. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Dr. Easton, how could baking soda possibly hurt me? I've been using it for decades. It helps my heartburn, it settles my stomach, and it's natural. And you're right, it's been around forever. But here's the truth. For men over 75, your body doesn't respond to it the same way it did when you were 40. In fact, that so-called safe and natural baking soda drink might be quietly damaging one of the most delicate parts of your body, your penis. Let me tell you about someone named Frank. He's 78 years old, retired, and like many men his age, he tries to stay proactive about his health. Every morning, he'd mix half a teaspoon of baking soda in warm water, a habit he picked up from an old friend who swore by it for heartburn and cleansing the body. For years, Frank believed it was helping him stay healthy. But then things started changing, slowly, quietly. He began noticing that his energy wasn't the same. His blood pressure readings crept higher, even though he hadn't changed much in his diet. And the most concerning part? His erections became weaker and less frequent. Frank thought it was just age catching up. But when he came to see me, we discovered something surprising. My name is Dr. Nolan Easton, and for over 30 years, I've been helping men over 60 restore their vitality, confidence, and performance naturally. And through decades of practice, I've seen patterns. What seems harmless when you're younger can become harmful as your body's internal chemistry shifts with age. And baking soda, yes, that simple white powder, is one of those hidden culprits. You see, when men drink baking soda regularly, it changes the balance of acids and bases inside the body. When you're young, your kidneys easily filter out the excess, but after 70 or 75, your kidney function naturally slows. That means even a small daily dose can quietly raise sodium levels, disrupt circulation, and strain the delicate blood vessels that supply your manhood. And as every man knows, good blood flow is your erection. Without it, everything changes. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to empower you. My goal is to help you understand what's happening in your body and how to make small, smart changes that protect your health and, yes, your confidence in the bedroom too. When I sat down with Frank, I explained what was going on. His morning health drink was actually flooding his system with sodium bicarbonate, making his body too alkaline and stressing his circulatory system. Over time, that slowed the microcirculation that nourishes the nerves and arteries of the penis. He had no idea. None of the online videos he watched mentioned that. But when he stopped the drink and made a few key adjustments, within a few weeks, he started noticing improvements, better energy, better pressure readings, and slowly, stronger responses. That's the part many men never hear about. The body of a 75-year-old man doesn't process things the way it used to. What's safe at 45 can backfire at 75. Your arteries become stiffer, your kidneys slower, your electrolytes more sensitive, and that affects everything from your heart to your libido. So if you've been drinking baking soda water daily, thinking it's helping your digestion, please pause for a moment. Ask yourself, has my blood pressure changed? Have my erections weakened lately? Do I feel more bloated, tired, or dizzy after that drink? Those subtle signs might be your body's quiet cry for help. Before we go deeper, I'd love to hear from you. Are you one of the many seniors who's been using baking soda regularly? If so, drop a yes in the comments. If not, say no. I actually read those comments because they help me understand what you're going through and they shape the advice I share here. And if this message is connecting with you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and tap that little bell icon. It helps this information reach more men who might need it before it's too late. Now, as Frank and I continued working together, we discovered something remarkable. When he removed that daily baking soda drink, his circulation began to recover, not just in his heart and legs, but where it mattered most, His morning energy returned, his blood pressure improved, and yes, he began to wake up with those natural signs of vitality again. That was the moment he realized it wasn't just age, it was something he could take control of. When Frank first heard me say that his morning baking soda drink was hurting his circulation, he didn't believe it. He said, "Doc, it's just baking soda. My grandmother used to take it. How can something so small cause so much trouble?" And that's a fair question, because baking soda seems harmless. It's not a pill, it's not some strange chemical, it's just a household powder. But for seniors over 75, the body becomes a little like a finely tuned machine. One wrong adjustment and everything starts to shift. See, when you mix baking soda with water, it produces a compound called sodium bicarbonate. It neutralizes acid in the stomach. That's why people use it for heartburn. But here's the hidden problem. That sodium doesn't just disappear. It enters your bloodstream. And over time, it builds up, forcing your body to retain more water, raising blood pressure, and narrowing the arteries that are responsible for healthy circulation, including the ones that supply your penis. Now, I've spent over 30 years as a men's health specialist, and I've seen this pattern hundreds of times. A patient comes in worried about his erections, or his energy, or his memory. We run some tests, and sure enough, his sodium levels are high, his circulation is struggling, and his testosterone is lower than it should be. Yet he's not eating chips or canned soup or salty foods. Instead, it's that natural morning habit he thought was good for him, the baking soda drink. And I understand why so many seniors trust it. The internet is full of videos saying it detoxes your body or it balances your pH. But the truth is, your body already has a powerful detox system, your kidneys, your liver, your lungs. When you overload those systems with excess sodium, they can't do their job as efficiently. And for men over 70, even mild kidney strain can quickly affect circulation in sensitive areas. Let me explain this in a simple way. Imagine your arteries as flexible garden hoses carrying water to every part of your body. When you were 40, those hoses were strong and smooth inside. But as you age, they become a bit more rigid, less flexible, more sensitive. Now, add pressure from extra sodium, the water pressure rises, the hoses start to stiffen, and small cracks appear inside. Those micro cracks reduce blood flow, and that's when men start noticing weaker erections, colder hands and feet, or occasional dizziness. When Frank saw this, it finally clicked. He said, "So it's not that my body's just old, it's that I've been stressing it without knowing." Exactly. Once he stopped the baking soda and started hydrating properly, his sodium levels came down and his body began to rebalance. Within weeks, his circulation tests improved, his blood pressure settled, and that slow, quiet strength, the kind that every man knows deep down, began to return. Now, I want you to really think about that for a moment. You might not see the damage happening day to day, but your body does. That morning drink might make you feel less bloated or more clean temporarily, but it's often masking a deeper imbalance. And for men, the first place poor circulation shows up is right where we least want it, our erections. If you're watching this and thinking, "That sounds a bit like me," I want you to take one small step. For the next week, stop drinking baking soda water altogether. Instead, focus on gentle hydration, plain water with a squeeze of lemon or warm water first thing in the morning. Then pay attention. Do you feel less tired? Do you notice better bathroom patterns? A bit more strength when you wake up? These are small but powerful signs that your body is rebalancing. And if this message is connecting with you, if you've ever tried that baking soda trick or thought it might be helping you, I'd love to hear from you. Type a yes in the comments if you've used it or no if you haven't. I actually read those personally because your experiences help me understand what's really going on for men over 70 today. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, and tap that little bell icon. It's the easiest way to stay connected to these weekly health talks and get new insights before others do. Now, here's something that often surprises people. Baking soda not only affects your circulation, it can also interfere with your body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what helps your blood vessels relax and expand, allowing healthy blood flow to the penis. Without enough of it, even if your desire is strong, your body just can't respond properly. Frank didn't know this either, but once he learned, he made another important change. He began adding foods that naturally boost nitric oxide, like beets, leafy greens, and a touch of pomegranate juice in the morning. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, I'm waking up with more life again." His words, not mine, and the smile on his face said it all.
When Frank returned for his next visit, I remember how different he looked. His face had more color, his posture was stronger, and he carried that quiet confidence I see when a man starts feeling like himself again. He told me, "Dr. Easton, I didn't realize how much that little habit was holding me back." And that's what many men don't see. Sometimes it's not the big things, but the small, repeated choices that slowly drain your vitality. You see, after decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, I've noticed something remarkable. Many of the problems men blame on aging, fatigue, poor performance, lack of drive, often come down to blood chemistry. When the balance between acid and alkaline shifts too far, your cells can't absorb nutrients efficiently. And that's exactly what long-term use of baking soda does. It alters your body's natural pH balance. At first, it might make you feel better. You might notice less stomach acid or heartburn, but deep inside, your blood becomes slightly more alkaline. And when that happens, your red blood cells, the ones responsible for carrying oxygen to every part of your body, including your penis, start to lose efficiency. Oxygen delivery slows, circulation weakens, and your tissues don't receive the nourishment they once did. Over time, that leads to weaker erections, slower recovery, and even brain fog. Now, I'm not saying one glass of baking soda water will ruin your health, but the issue is repetition. A small dose every morning builds up. And for seniors 75 and older, where kidney filtration is naturally slower, it's like adding pressure to a system that's already working overtime. When Frank heard this, he shook his head and said, "Doc, I wish someone had told me this earlier." That's when I told him something I share with all my patients. Your body is always speaking to you. The key is learning to listen. Think about it. Have you ever had moments where you suddenly feel dizzy after your so-called healthy morning drink? Or noticed your heartbeat feels a little off after a few sips? Maybe your blood pressure crept up, but you couldn't figure out why? These are your body's warning lights. Most men ignore them, blaming age, but it's often your chemistry quietly calling for help. Once we stopped Frank's baking soda routine, I helped him rebuild his body's natural acid-base balance. Instead of forcing alkalinity with a chemical, we supported it naturally through hydration, gentle movement, and mineral-rich foods. Simple things like cucumber water, celery juice, and a pinch of Himalayan salt provided trace minerals that helped restore his internal balance without the harsh sodium load. And you know what happened next? His morning energy returned. His mental clarity improved. He said, "Doc, I don't need an afternoon nap anymore. I actually feel alert." But the best part came a few weeks later when he told me his erections had returned naturally, without any medication. That moment, when a man realizes his body is capable of healing, is powerful. It's a reminder that our bodies aren't broken. They just need the right environment to thrive. Now, if you're watching this and you've been taking that baking soda drink because you thought it was helping your digestion or cleansing your system, I want you to take a deep breath. This isn't about guilt or shame, it's about awareness. Once you know better, you can do better. And that's how transformation begins. Here's what I tell all my senior patients. Instead of fighting your body's natural processes, work with them. Your stomach acid, for instance, is essential for digestion, nutrient absorption, and even hormone balance. When you neutralize it too much, you block your body's ability to absorb zinc and magnesium, two minerals absolutely critical for testosterone and erectile strength. So that simple baking soda drink may be robbing you of the very nutrients that keep your manhood strong. I want to pause here for a second and ask you something. Have you noticed changes in your digestion, energy, or bedroom performance after starting a baking soda routine? If so, I truly want to hear from you. Drop a yes in the comments if this resonates, or a no if you've never tried it. I actually read those comments every evening because your stories help me guide my future videos to address exactly what you're going through. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, and tap that little bell icon. It helps this community of men over 60 grow and stay informed. Now, let me tell you something interesting about Frank's recovery. After balancing his internal chemistry, he began walking every morning, just 15 minutes at a relaxed pace. Within 2 weeks, his circulation improved even more. Why? Because movement increases nitric oxide, helping arteries relax and open. So while the baking soda drink was tightening and straining his vessels, walking was doing the opposite, loosening, healing, and restoring natural flow. He laughed one day and said, "So doc, all I had to do was stop drinking my health drink and start walking instead." I smiled and said, "That's right, Frank. Sometimes health isn't about adding more, it's about removing what doesn't serve you." And I want you to remember that too. You don't need complex routines or expensive supplements. Often it's the small adjustments, the ones that remove silent saboteurs, that bring the biggest change. When Frank came in for his 3-month follow-up, he wasn't just healthier, he was radiant. He sat down and said, "Dr. Easton, I feel 20 years younger." His blood pressure was stable, his energy was consistent throughout the day, and most importantly, his confidence, that quiet inner spark every man recognizes, had returned. He told me something that really stuck with me. "Doc, it's amazing how one small change, stopping that morning baking soda drink, gave me my life back." That's the kind of transformation that reminds me why I do what I do. Because so many men out there, just like Frank, are unknowingly sabotaging their vitality through habits they believe are helping. They're doing it with good intentions, but the body at 75 is not the same body you had at 45. What used to be harmless can slowly become harmful. Now, let's break that down in plain English. Your kidneys at 75 filter blood about half as efficiently as they did decades ago. Your arteries are more sensitive to sodium. Your body takes longer to balance electrolytes. So when you add that daily teaspoon of baking soda, it quietly tips your system toward imbalance. Higher blood pressure, poorer circulation, and stress on the blood vessels that support your erections. Now, the good news is this: the body can heal. I've seen it countless times. When men remove the strain, stop the baking soda drink, hydrate naturally, eat nourishing foods, and move their bodies gently each day, their energy returns, their clarity improves, and their circulation begins to flow freely again. The body wants to heal. It's just waiting for you to stop getting in its way. Frank's story isn't an exception. It's a reminder. Once his chemistry stabilized, he told me something beautiful. "Doc, my wife and I started walking together again. We're talking more, laughing more, and I feel connected to her again in every way." That's what real health looks like, not just numbers on a chart, but joy, connection, and the return of that natural masculine energy that makes you feel alive. So, if you've been drinking baking soda water thinking it's a cure for bloating, heartburn, or detoxing, I want you to know you can achieve all of that without harming your circulation. A warm glass of water with lemon can gently support digestion. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before meals can naturally balance acid and support gut health. Gentle walks, deep breathing, and stretching can reduce internal acidity through oxygenation, safely, naturally, and without the harsh sodium load. That's the kind of simple wisdom that I wish every senior man could hear, that your health doesn't come from chasing trends, but from restoring balance. Now, before we wrap up, I want to talk to you directly, man to man. If you're over 70, maybe even 80, and you've noticed things changing, weaker erections, slower mornings, less drive, please don't think it's all just aging. Aging plays a part, but it's not the full story. Your body still wants to perform. It just needs the right environment. And that means better circulation, clean hydration, real food, and peace of mind. Take a few moments today to check in with yourself. Ask, what habits am I holding on to that might be hurting me more than helping me? It might be that morning baking soda drink or something else you've been told is healthy. The truth is, your body will always tell you what it needs, if you listen closely enough. Now, if this message spoke to you, if you're realizing you might have fallen into the same trap, please write yes in the comments below. If you've never tried baking soda, write no. I read every single comment because your feedback shapes the advice I share in these videos. It helps me reach more men who are quietly struggling, just like Frank once was. And if you haven't already, I want you to take a quick second to like this video, subscribe, and tap that little bell icon so you don't miss my next conversation on senior men's health. Each week, I share practical, science-backed advice to help men over 60 protect their vitality, their confidence, and their relationships, all naturally. As I always tell my patients, healing doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to live in fear or chase every new remedy that pops up online. The most powerful thing you can do is to start removing the hidden things that hold you back. Frank did that, and so can you. You've spent your whole life taking care of others, your family, your work, your responsibilities. Now it's time to take care of you. And when you do, when you treat your body with the respect and awareness